HomeBuilder leads to a spike in demand for land. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee, let's have a look at this article from Mortgage Business, which is discussing, well, HomeBuilder spurs a residential land spike. So the demand for residential land has gone up significantly. We've seen just the increase in building approvals. I'll bring that up if we can see it here. Look at that there, look at the light blue line. That's new houses that are being built. So HomeBuilder is working. It is achieving the government's goals of getting more people working in the industry. But you know what it's going to do, everyone. Whenever you increase the supply of money through one means into the economy, which is what is happening here, it's going to result in a bubble in the cost of that flow path relative to other goods. So our houses, our construction, it's going to get more expensive, which is really, really fantastic considering I've got a big renovation project to do this year. Awesome. Just awesome. So demand for residential land increased in the September quarter of 2020, reflecting the popularity of HomeBuilder, and economists have suggested. The Housing Industry Association CoreLogic Residential Land Report for the September 2020 quarter has revealed that demand for residential land jumped by 27.7%, driven by the popularity of construction grants and support initiatives, such as HomeBuilder, according to the HIA economist Angela Lillicrap. The report, which includes sales activity in 51 housing markets across 6 capital cities, has found that there was a 62.7% increase on demand when compared to the same time last year. Yeah, just the 60% increase compared to last year, and we've just been through the first recession in 28 years. This is what happens when you overheat a sector, guys. This is it. Nothing the government can do when it intervenes in the market can occur without consequences. The Reserve Bank intervening and setting a cash rate at such an artificially low level will have unintended consequences, or consequences that they don't care about. The Reserve Bank doesn't care about our housing costs. They're more worried about just keeping people working, which is understandable. But you kind of would like a little bit more freedom in the market so we get a correction and people are working on more things and investing in other things. That'd be nice. So according to Ms. Lillicrap, the housing market was bolstered by multiple interest rate cuts, house price growth, and the easing of tight financing restrictions. And don't forget mortgage holidays, ensuring people weren't forced to sell into a declining market. Oh, and trading while insolvent, don't forget that as well. Oh, and the JobKeeper is propping up to nearly 9% of the employed people in certain states like Victoria and others. Yeah, or those, I'm sure they all played a part as well. HomeBuilder was the catalyst for improved confidence in the housing market, with strong demand for residential land expected to continue into 2021, she said. Although residential land prices in the September 2020 quarter fell by 1.5%, she added that land prices can lag behind changes in demand due to the length of settlement periods. Moreover, she added that the process of producing shovel-ready land commonly takes over a decade, which makes it difficult for land supply to respond to changes in the short term. As a consequence, a sudden increase in demand for land will likely result in prices increasing, she concluded. Similarly, Eliza Owen, CoreLogic's head of residential research, said it was remarkable to see how government policy had shaped demand as sales picked up through the September quarter in 2020. Really? How wasn't it entirely expected? Isn't that what the government anticipated? Or is she surprised at how drastically it has influenced demand? We're obsessed with property here. Australians are obsessed with property. I'm obsessed with property. You're obsessed with property. You go to a barbecue, people talk about property. What's number one, guys? Footy, sport, or property? Let us know in the comments, guys. Let us know in the comments. I drink my coffee, but I've run out. Got to make another one before the next video, but still. It's a toss-up, wouldn't it? It'd be a toss-up. So much of the state and federal government housing stimulus extended through 2020 was for new dwellings, including HomeBuilder. temporary changes to stamp duty across New South Wales, and later the extension of the first home loan deposit scheme announced in the October budget, she said. Well, I understand why people want to get into housing. The problem is, my issue is, for the long-term impact this obsession with one sector is going to have on our nation. It's going to weaken us in a global perspective. There's a reason why people joke that we're just, you know, we just dig holes, we sell coffee, sell real estate. I'll have to look at, I want to do a video on another article, all these made in Australia things that were, you know, made in China, and they just changed the labels. Even the bloody made in Australia labels were made in China. Come on. There you go. At least with real estate, with houses, with land, we can't import the land. Not quite yet. We can import all the material to build the houses. The strong surge in demand for vacant land also reflects a shift to demand for houses in regional Australia and on the periphery of major cities. This is corroborated by an increase in ABS house approval figures, which were up 8.4% in the year to November 2020, as unit approvals actually declined in the same period, she noted. I don't know, I understand why people would get into units to save money, maybe have less maintenance, but just all of the risks associated with the construction nowadays, particularly with the stock that's come online in the last 20 years. I wouldn't be filled with much confidence. And it's nice having a bit of dirt. Demand for new housing will likely start to taper around the end of the March quarter, which is the current expiry date of the HomeBuilder scheme, and the end of mortgage deferrals and the end of JobKeeper and JobSeeker. This could reduce pressure on demand for vacant land through 2021, Ms. Owen concluded. According to the latest figures, as at the 31st of December 2020, a total of 75,143 households had applied for the federal government's HomeBuilder grant, with a total of 59,000 or 80% having applied to construct a new home, while 15,000 applied for rebuilds. Now, we actually considered getting the grant. We decided against it because, well, we're doing own a builder, and we're probably going to do it a little bit slower than the timeframes dictated by the government. I spoke to one gentleman who wanted to get in touch, and I said, well, do you want to rush your project or spend time on it? Do you want a bit, you know, compromise for 25 grand? It's not that much in the grand scheme of things of building a project. And I know we're going to see more and more commentators, and particularly from my profession, every architect just loves the idea of social housing. Social housing is something that should be last resort. It should be an act of charity. It shouldn't be something we strive for or we aim for. People shouldn't want to live in social housing. People should want to have control of their own destiny. We should be encouraging people to own their own housing. Isn't that the goal? Isn't that the great Australian dream? Not getting a you know, spec house from the government and being dependent on them? At least that's what I thought. And the advantage of this home builder is every 25 grand the government hands out, they get the $25,000 of economic activity, then they get the other $150,000 that you need to spend a minimum to be eligible. So for 25 grand, the government is getting $175,000 minimum of economic activity, and all the GST people pay on the materials, it's all going to come back anyway. The circle of life, everyone. But the consequence of that is we're going to see a Cantillon effect, which will manifest because this is the flow path of an increased money supply, as people borrow more money to do this. So it's one to keep in mind, everyone. So what do you think? What do you think? I can't say any of us would be surprised that there's been a spike in demand for land. Not at all. Do you think this will continue on to next year? And do you think we'll start to see more inflation in housing? As always, thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and enjoy the content I create here, there are a few ways you can support us. You can join the channel on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us using our affiliate links from Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve or AussieBroadband. You can buy merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, support us using PayPal, or join SelfWealth through our referral link, and we'll each get 5 free share trades. Take care, have a great day. I'll see you next time.